Hey, this is Josh with drinknectar.com. We've had the ultimate privilege and honor of sharing Spokane wine scene with world-class, preeminent wine bloggers in the world, Sean Sullivan of Washington Wine Report and Bean Fairbanks of Wine Beer Washington. Sitting here right now at Liberty Lake Wine Cellars with Sean. I'm going to just check in and see what he thought of the adventures we had. Hey, Sean, thanks for coming along with us. What'd you think of your experience so far in Spokane?
Well, thank you, Josh. I really appreciated all the hospitality you've shown me, and you've been a great advocate for Spokane, and are certainly a big part of the reason why I came out here to kind of see what was going on here. So I hadn't been out to this area in quite a number of years. I've tried some of the wines, obviously, but really interesting area, fascinating things going on here. I think it's an interesting mixture of some wineries that are long tenured. When you think about like an Arbor Crest or Latah Creek, who are early 80s wineries and are almost 30 years old at this point, with a mixture of newcomers like the Barristers, or where we are here in Liberty Lake, and so very interesting mixture of kind of like old and new things going on. Stylistically, I think there's some interesting things with some of these wineries where a lot of the wines were a bit lower in alcohol than I've seen in a lot of other areas of Washington, which was kind of interesting to see some more kind of food friendly wines, if you will. So I thought a lot of interesting things going on here, and with the number of wineries kind of increasing, it's a pretty vibrant wine community here.
When you're thinking about the areas that you visited and just the spaces you visited, what are some things that, talking to visitors as they're coming out here, that they could look forward to and seeing and doing?
Well, one, I think the area, it's very pretty here, which is something that people don't necessarily, or I certainly didn't necessarily think. It's very green, a lot of trees, very pretty. The river coming through town is gorgeous. The Riverside Park is very, very pretty. I mean, the Davenport Hotel alone is a reason to come out here. I mean, it is just absolutely, a spectacular place to see, and really one of those things like you can't picture will never do something like that justice. So, so I think that a real pretty, and a town with a lot of history to it as well, and obviously kind of far, in terms of the wine world, we've got a lot of wineries concentrated in Woodinville. We've got sort of Yakima, Belt, Tri-Cities area, and then Walla Walla that's there kind of getting a lot of the attention. But there's a lot of real interesting things going on out here that are certainly equally as worthy of attention.
So of all the wines you had, I mean, not playing favorites and calling out anything, but everyone has favorites and everyone's palate's different. What are some things that really stood out to you over the course of the 2 days that we were traveling?
Certainly the wines at Barrister were really, really attention getting to me. I just thought it's a great story. They're very, very, very passionate about wine there. They've got a really, really nice facility, a barrel room that is, as unique as any I've seen in Washington, where the trains are going by constantly, and they say, the trains help with their overall aging of their wines, which I certainly believe that it does. And their lineup of wines was just incredible high quality and consistency, and a real style to them. And the Cab Franc is their kind of signature wine, very, very impressive. So that as as an overall winery certainly stood out to me. The Nodland I thought was really, really impressive with what they were doing. So that's a winery that I hadn't had their wines before. I'd had the Barrister wines before, but Nodland, newer winery, I thought was really doing some very, very impressive stuff. So I thought a winery to definitely keep an eye on. And here the wines at Liberty Lake, I must say, were really impressive. A lot of Red Mountain fruit, a lot of good vineyard sources, and pretty impressive things. And the other wineries as well, I thought were doing a lot of really interesting, good wines. Like I said, a lot of stylistically different wines, whereas a lot of the wines in Washington very very ripe, pushing high 14s, low 15s on the alcohol levels. I saw a lot of wines here that were under 14% or just a little bit over 14%, and that was very interesting to me because that's not something you typically see as much of. So I thought in that way a little something for everybody in terms of the styles of the wine here.
Wrap it up. Give us a little summary here. Wrap it up your visit. Should we come to Spokane? Should we not?
Oh, I know. Absolutely. It's a come to Spokane. I mean, I really like, one for me, like I like driving, I like traveling, I love going to wine country, I love seeing different places, I love talking to people about what they're passionate about, and the people here that I talked to were definitely very passionate about wine, and that was really fun to hear. A lot of great stories, a lot of interesting stuff going out here. The drive from Seattle, personally, I thought it went by very, very quickly. I go out to Yakima Valley and WAWiNE area fairly frequently. It's really not all that much further away, realistically, and and a lot of pretty parts of the community, pretty areas. So I thought it was pretty impressed. Definitely, it greatly kind of exceeded expectations as an overall experience of the area.